Elon Musk has always been quirky. Some say he's a genius, but would those people go as far as putting a computer chip in their heads if he told them to? Yep, this is no longer fiction. Musk recently announced that his computer chip for brains is ready to be put in humans. Neuralink sounds like something out of a futuristic novel, and it's here in 2022. Let's talk about it. First up, what did Elon Musk have to say about Neuralink? Musk has told the media in an announcement that he'll be seeking approval from U.S. regulators to start putting the computer chip called Neuralink into human brains. This chip has been called the gateway to the future because of its ability to interface with technology. People who support the use of such technology have gone so far as to even claim that Neuralink will fix things like hearing and sight loss. Like if you closed your eyes, you'd be able to scroll online with your eye rolls. That sounds kinda scary, actually. Musk talked about his own plans to put a chip in his head. He said you could just have Neuralink implanted right now and wouldn't realize it. Stumbling over his words, he quickly calmed the audience by telling them this was a hypothetical situation. In one of these demos, I will, he acknowledged. He's also been discussing this on Twitter, where he said he was building a piece of skull with a smartwatch, for lack of better words. Can you imagine what Elon Musk would be like with a chip in his head? Sounds like we're getting closer to the robot age than we thought possible. Coming up, Musk's approach to artificial intelligence. Musk has an aggressive ideology when it comes to developing artificial intelligence. He says if you can't beat him, then you gotta join him. This means that according to Musk, human beings can reach their true potential as a species by successfully and safely interfacing with technology. Of course, this tech needs to be developed and legislated on with lots of care and caution. Musk also discussed his approach toward human testing. According to him, they've been super careful and feel pretty confident that the chip will work well. Only then did they think about putting Neuralink in a human brain. They've submitted their paperwork to the FDA. If you didn't already know, the FDA is the U.S. Food and Drug Administration Authority. Musk told us that the first chipped human will be amongst us far sooner than we'd think. In about 6 months, Neuralink will be implanted in someone's brain. Will they be lucky or unlucky? The company responsible for making such controversial technology is already putting out applications for volunteers who might want to be considered for the position of the world's first implanted person. And according to the billionaire, in the initial stages, the focus of the program will be to find 2 humans whose vision will be restored or their muscle movement re-enabled, turning to the potential of a human chip, Neuralink. Musk has previously told us that the chip will look like a coin. It'll be implanted on the top of people's skulls. After that, the device will be connected to the person's brain, and they'll be able to access all types of digital programs. He ended up hinting at the need to undergo additional surgeries if people do decide to get the chip. This is because you'll need to upgrade the tech to the latest edition as and when it develops. Is this just us, or is this story straight out of a sci-fi novel? Musk was pretty chill about getting additional surgeries. To him, it seemed worth it. He compared it to getting an iPhone 14 if an iPhone 1 was stuck in your head. Up next, what are the critics saying? The biggest fear people have is that the concept of privacy will completely go away the moment you start putting chips in people's brains. A company can quite literally connect directly to your brain. The neurologist Tom Oxley has some ideas of its usefulness, though. He spoke to The Guardian and told them that people can't read our thoughts. Only when we use our mouths and speak do people know what's going on in our heads. For people who can't speak, it must be difficult beyond our imagination. The aim of the project is totally about fixing medical problems. Back in February, the critics were on to Neuralink for its treatment of apes during the initial testing stages of the technology. The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine has been criticizing the company for its treatment of animals. Seriously, the test subjects have been put through extreme suffering. In fact, the U.S. Department of Agriculture even claimed that the monkeys had their brains mutilated. Also, apparently, shady experiments were carried out on them, after which they were left in pain to die. Now for animal testing and Neuralink's shady background. Neuralink's testing happened between 2017 to 2020. The University of California worked in partnership with the company to do the testing. Now, the animals allegedly suffered extreme psychological distress. Plus, they underwent hundreds of badly done surgeries. And the situation was so bad that, according to the animal rights organization, over a dozen animals died during these trials. The organization also discussed that the monkeys had been feeling severe side effects. Things like bloody skin infections and brain hemorrhages happened because of the Neuralink devices put inside their heads. And this information came from the allegations on documents they'd obtained from public record requests. Coming up, how has the company responded to the drama? Neuralink tried to address the drama when it hit the public ears. They tried to explain the process by which they test animals. Apparently, during the early stages, they didn't use live animals. Besides, even if they did use live animals, they stuck to those healthy enough to survive an anesthetic dose. They tried to clarify that their team really respects and honors the animals at Neuralink. The reports, according to the company, had been without proper context. That's why it was misleading information. They even tried to point out that the accusations were coming from groups that are completely against the use of animal testing in research. They didn't deny that they'd killed the monkeys, but were pretty insistent that they wanted to work with animals in humane and ethical ways. Sounds pretty shady, right? Let's look at the company's public statements and lies. The University of Pennsylvania's professor of medical ethics and health policy, Anna Wexler, has an interesting opinion on the claims made by Elon Musk. In 2021, she warned the public that they've got to be careful when dealing with him. Apparently, he has always had a habit of overstating the capacity of his ventures. Wexler was particularly worried about the potentially false claims that were being made so commonly. The engineers and employees working at the company are definitely sincere. They earnestly want to develop actual devices for medical purposes. The company's public policy is really fancy, though. It is far too focused on grand plans and massive claims, like how they're going to use technology to cure all the diseases ever. Somehow, they have us believing that humans will merge with AI. Now for all the important updates about Neuralink. Aside from the sci-fi novel material stories about Neuralink, what else do we know about it? Well, we do know a little bit about the technology itself. Musk may have been busy with his Twitter drama, but the company really has made something special. These chips are called brain-computer interfaces. They use small electrodes which can be left inside the brain and used to catch signals from nearby computers. What's more, the software is able to translate these signals, so it can move a cursor or a robotic arm. Oh, and Musk went so far as to claim that the chip was going to help achieve symbiosis with artificial intelligence. Now, the company introduced its newest little gadget at a show and tell event that was also live streamed. The team showed the audience how their surgical little robot was able to put electrode threads in fake brain material. They claimed the electrodes could both make and catch electric signals. Not to mention, the robot took around 15 minutes to plant 64 threads into the fake brain during the presentation. Let's talk about the special features of this technology. The arm is pretty much a major advancement in technology because not only is it precise, but it is also super quick at inserting electrodes. No devices of this type are actually commercially available, and probably around 12 people across the globe have these interfaces as part of their research studies. The potential is great because we've already seen paralyzed volunteers get their ability to translate thoughts into speech, move their wheelchairs, and even feel sensation again. However, this technology is still fairly new. Back in 2020, the company tried putting chips in the brains of pigs to test the safety of the implant and the chip's own capacity. This demonstration happened live, as the brain signals from the pig were broadcasted live on the screen. Because of this implant, Neuralink is now pretty much the most widely recognized company out of all the ones working on brain implants at the moment. Whether it saves us or ends up kicking off some sci-fi apocalypse, however, remains to be seen. That's a wrap for this video, folks. Would you put a chip implant in your brain if it gave you superpowers? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.